Now let's move on to the next presentation, which is about agile user-centered experiments on digital twin flat platforms. And this is presented by City Geodesist at City of Helsinki, Tiina Talvitie.
Well, hello everyone. Just great to be here speaking today. I work as a city geodesist at the City of Helsinki. I'm also leading the Geospatial Development and Digital Twins unit nowadays. And my background is in the private sector, where I've been working in companies like Trimble and other software companies, and then after that in construction companies. So I have been promoting digitalization in construction business during my career. And today I'm going to tell you about digital twin experiments and how to lead people through change with the power of experimental culture. So let's begin. Well, let's imagine that you or your friend is about to buy a new car. So how would you start designing that car? I suppose you would go to the vendor's site on the internet and start by choosing the right car model, try different kind of colors, materials and equipment and so on. And then you would rotate the car model and see it from every angle you like. And as we all know, this is already commonplace. And how do we design our cities? Here on the left, you can see materials from the building permit process of a new building. The same material is also used in neighbor consultation. So, perhaps not so easy to the neighbors to understand how would the building look like when ready. How high is the building? How does it shade other buildings? What is the suitability to the surrounding nature or to the cityscape? How about if we would have a city design studio, likewise when designing cars? The neighbors could rotate the model and see it from the viewpoints they like. They could also leave their comments related to neighbor consultation from the same digital twin platform. Wouldn't it be nice? Let's go back for a moment. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you now a video presenting. We have been experimenting how to present the new building under building control process in the 3D city model. And does it start? Right, now. Well, the BIM model can be viewed from different directions and perspectives. And the model can also be viewed at different times of a day to see how the shadows cast. This can be utilized also in project presentations for the Cityscape Advisory Group and in neighbor consultation supporting decision making. And this is one of our proof of concept projects. Okay, well, what is the smart city maturity? How capable are we at utilizing digital twins in daily operations in our cities? How many 3D city models are actually integrated to the everyday urban processes of cities? Well, technologies develop pretty fast, and we also have advanced software available. So why is the deployment struggling despite all these advancements in technology? When you are commuting in the morning into work, whether you go by public transportation, perhaps by your own car or by bike, how often do you think about the technology of your vehicle? Horsepower, power transmission or something like that? Or do you more like concentrate on getting work on time, the comfortness and safety of traveling? Well, technology itself, it's not so interesting for the customers. Not easy to sell technology without practical use cases and showing the benefits. Would it be more sensible to start promoting the use of digital twins based on the user needs, covering user stories from real users? Because users are the best experts of their own work. So why not participating them into the development and change? Well, my opinion is that we need leadership for promoting digital transformation. We need a cultural change in our mindset, or perhaps we even need a cultural revolution, do we? I think we need to question traditional ways of working and thinking. Setting goals to improve productivity in construction business, adapting lean principles and streamlining our processes. And leadership, involving and inspiring our experts by the means of experimental culture and creating enthusiasm. Well, we have established a concept lab as a platform for experimental culture in City of Helsinki in our urban environment division. The target is to be able to visualize the possibilities and benefits of digital twins, responding to the user needs and various use cases and user stories they have. The process starts so that the business unit people start ideating that what might help their everyday work, what business unit data they would like to integrate to other data, for example, to 3D city model data. Then they define the use cases and they also do some concept development so that we can assess this idea from user point, but also from technical side and also from the business side. And after that, when the concepts are ready, we are pitching the user stories and telling about the benefits. And we follow the fail fast principle, so that perhaps not the ideas are successful, perhaps the time is not ready, or something. But we can still get the learnings that we can use later in the coming ideas. But the winners, they get to implement their own proof of concepts with financial support. And you can see the process here below. In addition to supporting and creating these proof of concepts, of course, we also support the best concepts on going to the product development as well. I will now give you a couple of use case examples about our work, about these proof of concepts. And the first one is related to zoning proposals. Our Urban Environment Committee in our Urban Environment Division, based on the experiments they have already seen on digital twins, they have suggested that they would like to see all zoning proposals presented in the 3D city model on digital twin platforms. So, users are Urban Environment Committee. And the goal, of course, is to support their decision-making by visualizing zoning plans. The longer-term goal is to automatically generate 3D presentation for the use of authorities. And I will now show you a video where you can see alternative presentation methods. of zoning proposals. Let's see. Oh, not yet. I have one slide here in between. Yeah. Of course, in this proof of concept, the first question was that how can we, in the best way, present the zoning plan in the 3D city model? And we have already come from 2D pictures to presenting the building masses in 3D city model. But how can we visualize detailed zoning information in the 3D city model, even more informative way? And we find out that the smartest way is to start by experimenting. And now you can see the results of an experiment. So the data can be visualized directly using colors of a detailed plan, the zoning plan, or more subtly. And data can also be examined alongside various background data sets, like this. And the layer visibility can be adjusted according to the project's needs. Okay, let's go ahead. On this slide, I'm going to tell you what I mean in my presentation when I'm speaking about digital twins. There are many definitions, but this is how I think it here in my presentation. Well, we have a 3D city model in Helsinki, as Lauri already told you, and it is open, public, open for everyone. The problem as authorities, what we feel is that we can't bring there any confidential official data. Because of the safety situation, it's even more difficult nowadays. But on digital twins, at first, it's possible to create specific digital twins for specific user needs. So we think that it's not going to be one huge digital twin, but it's more like going to be several digital twins responding to the user need. And on these digital twin platforms, it's possible to combine and integrate data. The business unit's own data, you can bring the 3D city model data, BIM models, infra models, and also, for example, point cloud material or any urban information, urban environment data that is needed in this use case. For example, some registry data, for example. And we have, at the moment, tested 3 digital twin platforms. Each of them has the best features for special use cases. Well, the next example is use case U-space. Air traffic in the lower airspace above cities is already possible, meaning the 150 meters above the ground. And in coming years, automated and remotely piloted low-altitude air traffic will increase and expand to include logistics and passenger transportation as well. I will now show you a video. This is also a proof of concept work, and it has resulted 2 result videos, but I will show you this drone transport from Vuosaari Harbour to Pasila. And it is a fictional case, but it is very possible that could be implemented from the Vuosaari Harbour to Pasila multimodal railway station. Let's look at the video now. we have subtitles that you can follow. There's no voice, or it is in Finnish, so. So a drone is loaded and starting its journey through the channel. And you will soon see the restriction areas when we go to the city. You can't fly anywhere, just using the corridors, but avoiding the restriction areas. There are also situational restriction zone with yellow and these red silos also. And here's the vertiport where it's going to go down. Here is the benefits are visualized. How much faster it was to do like this. Okay. And I can't resist mentioning this interesting initiative. Now that I'm speaking here as a resident of Helsinki, speaking here in Tallinn. The Estonian Civil Aviation Authority's idea is to do co-creation and build a drone corridor between Tallinn and Helsinki. This is very interesting, and it would be established between Helsinki and Tallinn and would enable learning and, of course, testing unmanned aviations. Very interesting case. So, why digital twins? Why experimental culture? I think this piloting is very essential in digital transition. And I will now sum up you some of the benefits of digital twins as well as benefits of experimental culture. Well, digital twin can be an information interface to data. It is possible to integrate data from different data sources and offer different kind of visualizations, analysis, and simulations. And these pictures are from our proof of concept projects. And for example, here the case is such that the maintenance book is integrated to this building. And another benefit, user-centered solutions for daily operations. As I already mentioned, it is possible to take every case and define the best possible solution as a digital twin solution, so that we can combine the real data and visualize and make analysis there. Also taking into account the data protection and access control, because on digital twin platforms you can set, for example, data access rights to the authorities only, or as well you can also give rights to certain restricted groups like neighbors in neighbor consultation, or perhaps for the residents in Helsinki in case of some zoning plan proposal. It's a very effective tool for communication. Here we are in the cave room in our building in city, and that's a very powerful way to inspire both experts as well as decision makers, solving the possibilities instead of PowerPoint slides full of text. People like to see videos. It is a very, very powerful and fast way to show what we are doing. And also a way to get from experiments and with proof of concepts ahead to production scale development. Actually, here is Kristiina Suomi. Her idea was with USpace, proof of concept that I presented earlier, and nowadays it is a development project that is really meaningful in a national level, but also together with other countries as well. So, with the proof of concept, we can visualize and see what is the idea, and we can also develop it and get better understanding that what do we really want as a result. And that way we can lower the risk of starting the product development project. So it offers clear understanding of the desired outcomes. If you got interested, you can find proof of concepts that we have made in the Helsinki channel. They are spoken in Finnish, but they have English subtitles. In Rava Free Pro, that was a national development project. It ended in the end of last year. We also made plenty of piloting, and one for the demonstration of running there. And you can find more information of Rava Free Pro project from the internet site. But I'm going to show you one more video about this 4D proof of concept, and it was Granlund that offered this 4D scheduling service, and it was done in cooperation in our urban environment unit. Let's start. Well, in this 4D scheduling pilot, the simulation shows how the scheduled construction of the daycare center will progress. At the bottom, the schedule with construction phases is displayed. Work begins at the end of February and is completed by the end of October. The work progresses from the site establishment to demolition and earthworks and then to foundation work. And here you can see the structure, roof and facades are assembled under weather protection, which is then removed once the work is complete. And this simulation presented here in this video is intended to be updated with traffic arrangements required for its construction phase. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiina. And since we have a bit time till the next presentation, then does anybody have any questions for Tiina? Oh, there. Maybe someone can, Marcus, or someone can help me travel the microphone to the right person.
Works? Yeah. Thank you for the presentation. You mentioned that at the moment one of the problems is the lack of leadership in this field. But what do you think, who should take the initiative? Should be it the private sector or government, so the public sector, who should have like the initial push? Because if it's private sector, it needs to be, it has to be commercial, there has to be a profit. Or like or we should be using taxpayers' money to push the agenda? Thank you.
Well, I think it can be anybody, anywhere, in private or in municipalities. Just need to start somewhere from the small steps going ahead. And the only possibility is to show people the possibilities. And that's the way how to get people get enthusiastic, you know, and do cooperation, of course. We also, as a municipality, do cooperation with private companies as well. So covering people wherever they are and start doing together. And start from the very small things, showing these pilots and proof of concepts. And when the leaders get interested, we can then start the development projects and get some funding. It's not so easy to go and ask funding for a project that will take from 2 to 5 years or something. I believe it's not easy.
Like just to show people what is available already and what's possible, and then move on from that.
Sorry, I didn't.
Show what's already available right now to pique the interest of, doesn't matter which sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. And we have time for one more question. Here.
Well, I really love participating in conferences in Estonia or Finland. You can really ask your questions because nobody else wants to ask them. But a wonderful presentation. I really love this approach, this piloting proof of concept and so. But my question would be like combined of 2 questions, like who is the main initiator of this proof of concepts? Is it like your side, the technology side, or is it like the business side? And the second part would be like if it would be your side or so, if the proof of concept or the pilot is successful, what is like the biggest obstacle on your way to keep business side involved so that, because at the end of the day, they have to lead the process?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, I suppose it's my background. I've been working in various roles during my career, also as an innovation manager, a couple of companies, and last job was as a digital director in a construction company. But I didn't feel like I have any limits. Just I was asked that what data should be brought to the 3D city model next, and I started asking that. So where's the roadmap and what are the user needs? And I couldn't find those, any of those. I didn't get any answers. So I started by covering people who had the same interest, and people were feeling that there's so much data, plenty of data in our division, but it's not easy to find it. And why can't we have a user interface through which we could bring the data? And people were talking about spatial data and 3D city model. So we started by having workshops and ideating that what could we do and how to visualize that on the digital twin platforms. And the biggest obstacle is, I suppose, it is time, because people have limited time, they have their official work as well. But there is something, when you find the right persons, they just love doing this somehow. Together we have a very good atmosphere and bring this together ahead. But it's not easy. But I think the top management has now understand this is the future, and they support very strongly that we go on with these concepts, and they have also said that we should bring these to production as well. So step by step.
Yeah, thank you. Very similar problems.
Yeah, thank you, Tiina. Let's give another round of applause for her. And as she said, together we'll make the future.